Hello friends, welcome back to this channel. I will give you a round of 7 games. This time we'll cover only soccer or real football games. This is a video that was, I tried to do this the last week, but I couldn't. I had a lot of things going on, and with all of these new years, all of that, I was also very busy. I was making financial predictions for my subscribers. So here I am again, and I wish you a happy new year. I know it's kind of late already, but still it's kind of early. It's let's just say happy new year to everyone, even though it's already like 3 days past that. Anyways, we have these 7 games. Let's start with this one: Tottenham against the Newcastle United. This is of course soccer. This is not American football. This is not basketball or baseball or whatever. This is football, soccer. Tottenham, Newcastle. Let's take a look at the stats. And the stats right here tell us that although Newcastle looks way better, they have 5 consecutive wins in the last 5 games. Tottenham only has 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie in the last 5 games. It's still, for some reason, I think Tottenham has a chance to beat Newcastle. And the reason why is because in recent history, Newcastle won recently, but I think they, for some reason, Tottenham is just a better team overall in all head-to-head matches with Newcastle. So yeah, I'm going with Tottenham on this one. Now, next time we have Brighton against Arsenal. This is going to be shocking to you all, but I'm predicting that it could either end up in a tie or have Brighton winning the game. Now, Brighton is not really that good of a team against Arsenal compared. For example, we have the Arsenal has several games unbeaten, just a couple of draws, trying to do this winless streak. But other than that, it's basically a clean green slate for the past, I think, 2-3 months maybe. But yeah, for the reason why I'm choosing Brighton is because it's showing a potential for an upset. It's also because Brighton is a team that I have been covering for like 4 consecutive months, and it has never failed me. Every time I have covered Brighton, they always win or tie. Mostly just wins. They have lost, of course, but these losses have not been when I have covered Brighton. So for some reason I do have a touch with Brighton, even though it's not even my favorite team or whatever. But yeah, I think they have the chance to do an upset, or at the very least secure a tie, avoiding a loss. The next game we have Roma against Lazio. These are Italian teams. Let's take a look. This is a classic, I think, in the Italian league. But right here it's telling us that both of these 2 teams, at least for the 5 last games, they are very similar. We have Roma has 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. And Lazio has 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. Exactly the same amount. The only real difference is that I think, well, looking at this, is very equal, I guess. It's very, very equal. Maybe the only difference is that Lazio has faced way more powerful teams like Inter, whereas, Roma lost against Como, which Como, by the way, is a very, 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 very poor team. So the fact that they lost against Como is kind of shocking, actually. Because of that, I think Lazio is going to win. They're going to secure this win. They're going to defeat Roma. Now the next game we have Fiorentina against Napoli. Now let's take a look at the stats. Fiorentina against Napoli. Look at this. Fiorentina tells us that they had 2 ties, 2 losses, and only 1 win in the last 5 games. Whereas Napoli has 3 wins, 2 losses. So obviously Napoli looks way better, right? Because they have 3 consecutive wins. They are looking very strong. Fiorentina, even though it's also one of these teams that I have been covering for the past 5 months, and it's always doing good for me. I mean, only once they lost, and it was just recently against Bologna. Besides that, it's also a team that I have a touch with. So I am predicting that Fiorentina can do the upset right here and can upset Napoli, which has a 3-win streak. It's pretty good, but this can change very easily. It's not like American football. It's way more difficult doing soccer predictions. So yeah, I'm rooting for Fiorentina on that one. Next up, we have Casa Pia against Famalicão. These are Portuguese teams. So the Portugal, Liga Portugal, it's like the National League of Portugal. We have Casa Pia has 3 consecutive wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. And on the last 5 games, Famalicão is just, I mean, look at this. 3 losses, 2 ties. It's looking way on the, I mean, it's just favoring Casa Pia everywhere I look at. So Casa Pia has a chance to win. I think they will win. There's little recent history in these two teams, head-to-head matches. Overall, it seems pretty kind of in favor of Famalicão, but just looking at this, it just tells me right away that Famalicão has barely, if any, chance to win this game. So yeah, I'm going with Casa Pia. Maybe there's a chance of a tie because these teams do tend to tie, especially Famalicão. It's like the team with the most ties. So I think it's also possible that we might see a tie. At least both teams can score. That's my prediction. The next game we have Elche against Palmas. These are Spanish teams. Let's take a look at the stats. Very equal almost. We have Palmas have in the last 5 games 4 wins, 1 tie, whereas Elche has the same, 4 wins, 1 tie. Now looking back at further games in the past, we see that they are very equal, but for some reason it's telling me that Elche is looking way better, even though Elche is actually on a subdivision, on an inferior league, so to say, than Palmas. Palmas is playing on the National League of Spain. Elche is playing on the 2nd division, so it's kind of crazy. It's looking way better. Now, this is going to be biased to a degree because it's playing on the 2nd division. These teams are usually way weaker than these other teams. For example, Barcelona. I mean, Palmas won against Barcelona. That's a massive upset. But other than that, it's looking like Elche can win this game. I think they have everything to do that. The next and final game, we have Lecce against Genoa. Now let's take a look at the stats. Lecce says that it has 3 losses, 1 tie, 1 win. And Genoa has 2 wins, 2 ties, and 1 loss. Now this is an Italian league. Again, both of these two teams, but especially Genoa, they really like to tie games a lot, especially when they're not playing on home as the home team, right? Because they are being on the away right here. They have they have a reason to tie, right? And Lecce is not really that good, so both of these two teams are going to be struggling, I think. We can see a tie. Maybe this can be a game with 0 goals at all, because there's a possibility of seeing that. I mean, it could be a very boring game to say in that sense. So yeah, I think it's going to be a clean tie. And that's about it, guys. That's all the 7 games that I have, soccer games. Remember, I'll come in the next week, next Friday. I'll give you more games, more entertainment for you, and I'll of course update this list of these games once they are all played. Having said that, I just want to remind you all to subscribe, share, like, comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.